Read from FanDuel, and two quick things to wrap up before we head over to WKYC for never before seen content that no one has literally ever seen in the history of the universe because it hasn't happened. And you can only see it on WKYC or the WKYC Plus app. But it is Super Bowl season, and FanDuel wants to wish everyone who celebrates a very happy and hopefully successful and financially positive next couple of weeks. If you're like us, Super Bowl Sunday is all about scoring the best seats on the couch, grabbing your favorite football snacks, and placing some super bets. FanDuel has so many ways to help you end the season with 1 W and 2 Ws, 3 Ws, hopefully even more. Not only can you bet on who will win the Super Bowl, but you can also bet on which players will score touchdowns, how many points will be scored, and so much more. Today, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if their first bet of $5 or more wins. So make sure you visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook sponsor of the NFL. We got a Stephen Kwan video I want to show you in a sec. But first, real quick, 5 minutes tops. AVP is now the new offensive coordinator in New England. Mm-hmm. Most likely will be calling plays with Jerod Mayo, a defensive head coach. Jason, what do you think about AVP getting a shot now to call plays? And we now know the trade-off. It's Ken Dorsey in, AVP out.
I think it was important to him to get an opportunity like this. I know he interviewed with Vegas. Might have had a couple other chances as well, but he wanted an opportunity to go in and call plays. And now, more than likely, he'll get that. I don't know who else would. Jerod Mayo's not going to call plays, being the defensive guy. So he'll get his big chance now. He's very well thought of around the league just in terms of being a great guy. And now he'll get the opportunity that he sought for quite a while.
Now he's on a team that now they're going to have a high pick, so they'll probably get a quarterback. But is there any team with less skilled position talent than the Patriots?
I can't think of one.
Yeah. The Giants.
The cupboard is bare. But if he does a good job there, I mean,
the Giants at least have Barkley.
Yeah.
Who's the Patriots' best offensive player?
Bailey Zappi? No, I don't know.
No, I mean
both teams.
The running back.
There's not a single good player. Ramondre Stevenson.
I mean, he didn't have a great year this past year.
Your question, Bull, is the answer to why Bill Belichick didn't get a job this cycle. I'm told that he still wanted general manager control. And look, you got to know your lane. You got to know what you're good at. You got to know your weakness. And he proved his weakness. The last couple of years there. It's bare.
If you combine their rushers and receivers, not combined like add their stats together, but like their rushing leader, their receiving leader, the most yards they had, one player had, either rushing or receiving, was 642.
They were dead
and that
last
was
in
Ezekiel Elliott running the ball, averaging 3.5 yards per carry.
Are they third?
I think so.
They picked third, yeah.
Does anybody even know who their leading receiver was? Can you name him?
Couldn't tell you.
Tyquan Thornton.
No. Tyquan Thornton was like their 12th leading receiver.
It's a guy who's been in the league for a while.
It's a rookie. DeMario Douglas. He had 561 yards.
They were dead last in offense, weren't they?
He was on my fantasy team.
Were they dead last in offense? Well, that explains.
They must have been.
I'm starting to think about stripping some of Bill Belichick's medals. I'm gonna have to Marion Jones him.
Damn.
This might have been all Brady. Like all of them, like no-name gangsters. On defense and
I don't think it was
all Brady.
I think what's happened
I'll say 75-25 Brady.
To me,
with no receivers, nothing.
Bill Belichick has completely lost his ability. I don't take away from his coaching, but he's done a horrendous job as GM. He's arguably been the worst GM in the league for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so why is another team, when he's in his 70s, why would you turn over your whole organization to him when he's shown you in recent years he can't draft?
Ultimately, Atlanta went with the retread
over
Bill Belichick. That's why.
Right. I think the game in terms of talent evaluation has passed him by.
Yeah.
Like the days of where you could just get guys and scare them to death and tell them to work hard for minimal money don't work no more.
To use his term that he used on Bernie, diminishing skills.
Yeah, like
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
And the guy's arguably the greatest coach ever. He has no coaching tree.
If I'm drafting
no successful
third,
coaching tree.
I think I'd have a hard time passing on Marvin Harrison. I just would.
What you mean?
Listen, I'd take him number one.
I'll take him one.
But if you don't have a quarterback, that's where you want to look.
Where the Bears picking?
Bears don't need a quarterback.
Bears picking one.
Yeah, but they don't need a quarterback.
But
if they decide they're going to keep Justin Fields, and they're also picking fifth.
No, ninth.
Oh, is it ninth now? Gosh.
1-9.
Oh, they really...
See, if I'm the Bears...
The Bears won a couple
If I'm the Bears, I'm forcing, like, the Patriots to trade up to 1.
Yeah.
Because then who picks 2 is another team that needs a quarterback.
The Commanders.
The Commanders, right. So if I'm dropping
do
a
they
3.
need a quarterback? They haven't moved on from Sam Howell that I know of.
They're drafting a quarterback.
They're gonna draft a
Really?
The
So that
assumption
experiment is
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Done.
So what if I'm the
Drop the
Bears,
ball.
I'll say, okay, Patriots, you want your pick of what quarterback you're going to take? You better hop over the Commanders. The Patriots trade up to 1, Bears go to 3. They still get the guy they want, Marvin Harrison, and they get additional things.
Yeah, and
If they stay with Fields.
If they stay with Fields.
Which they're not.
You don't think they're going to?
I'd stay with him. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, the way the winds are blowing, it's
I stay with
50-50
him
right now.
I stay with him. Listen, you got DJ Moore.
What's
you
the
could
chance?
have.
Do
You got Marvin Harrison.
You believe Justin Fields could be a top 10 quarterback?
No, I don't.
No, I think he'll be.
So then, I think
And
you gotta-
ultimately, the way the Bears have to answer this question, I was watching a Monday night game when the Bears were playing, or Thursday.
Yeah.
It was a primetime exclusive window. And the conversation around him was fascinating. And I can't remember who said it, but whoever was the analyst for that game said this. You can't just be like lukewarm on him.
No, you gotta be
have to definitively know he's the guy, or you have to move on.
That's right. Oh, and it also depends what you think of the guy in the draft.
Well,
Like
sure.
if you think Caleb Williams is the next superstar quarterback,
Which
then
I
even if
don't.
you think you don't, but if they do,
Does anybody else think that Caleb
I
Williams
don't know
is the
enough.
guy?
I don't know.
I would tell you this.
I watched their backup quarterback replace him and throw 6 touchdowns.
I
in
would
one game.
stockpile that thing up. I would go get Marvin Harrison. I do right what Bull said. I go get Harrison. I go get the top available lineman if I can get him, or a pass rusher or edge
Well,
rusher.
Harrison and
There's one
DJ
dude-
Moore with a decent tight end and Cole Kmet would be pretty.
That'd be
There's
a
one
great
dude I know that ain't a
receiver corps.
bust. It's Marvin Harrison. That dude
Yes.
is not a bust.
He's going to
There
be
you
a
go.
star.
And if you say, all right, if Jared Goff is not a top 10 quarterback, and they could have fully went to the Super Bowl, can you get to the Super Bowl with a 12 quarterback? 13?
I actually think Jared Goff is now towards the back end of the top 10.
I think he's still outside of the top 10.
I mean, I have to go through the list,
Right.
but I think right now he's somewhere between 9 and 12.
That was
which is close
that
enough.
was a great trade for both teams.
It
was.
worked out well.
really
One
was.
of the
really
few
was.
that worked out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
LA,
excellent. Rarely happens that way.
LA didn't think he was ready, and they didn't think he was good enough, and they gave up the picks, and they got their guy, and they got a ring.
Yeah.
And Detroit got all those picks, and they allowed him time to grow into the role.
And Goff's a good quarterback.
He's a good
And
quarterback.
you're in the NFC.
Yeah.
It ain't like you got to go past Mahomes.
That's
it's
right.
like you got a shot.
That's right.
Hey,
Mike,
real quick before we move on, yes or no answer, will AVP do a good job in New England calling plays? Yes or no?
I'm worried for him just because there's no talent.
The talent.
Bush?
yeah, I don't think they're going to do
It's not going to end up
it's
good
a bad
for him.
spot.
It's just like I told you about what's the name, Eric Bieniemy. It's not going to end well.
If they nail it and happen to get the next great quarterback, that's his only hope.
I think in time,
Because they have no talent.
if they give him time, he can do a good job.
Yeah.
But they got to give him more than a year. They
But
gotta
we
get
know
some-
this: the Patriots fan base not the most patient.
Well, that's
They've been
most NFL
spoiled
teams.
with riches.
Yeah, that's true.
They better get used to it.
Good.
All right, let's
All right,
talk